Welcome to the PI Podcast, your destination for everything NFL, discussing the latest news and providing in-depth analysis of every NFL game. And now, here are your hosts, Ian and Tesh.
What is up, guys? What is up, Uno Antonio? Welcome to PI Podcast, episode 65, I believe now. I just put it up, so I should remember. I hope you guys enjoyed week 2 of football. Some tough Monday night games for some people, and for teams as well. Josh Allen, the Bills, they looked amazing. I'll go over every game today. Tannehill just needs to retire after I watch. Yeah, dude. Tannehill, yeah, he couldn't get anything going on offense, and he threw some horrible balls. It was a rough day, especially because Derrick Henry got shut down as well. Oh, man. Trey Burks, I think, is going to be good. He's going to be good. Don't talk about the second game. Don't worry, Antonio. That's going to be the last game we talk about, so don't worry. That's going to be the last game. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but yikes. I honestly, I wanted that to be, I thought it was going to be high scoring. Honestly, I was a little disappointed in Kirk Cousins a little bit. What's up from the back seat? How's it going, man? Hurts season, dude. Hurts looked so good last night. I mean, that Eagles defense, that Eagles offense. I thought the Eagles defense was going to allow some points tonight because what they did against the Lions, they let the Lions allow to come back within a one possession game. Good to hear, backseat. How do you enjoy week 2? Yeah. Did your favorite team win? That's all we need to talk about, I guess. So pretend we dreamed it. Dude, same here, Antonio. Freaking, I'm going to go over it some more, but we almost came back. Falcons almost came back, but we didn't. That would have been really, really good. Oh, yeah, you're a Chargers fan. Okay, cool. Dude, the Chargers, honestly, they look like the better team against the Chiefs. If it wasn't for that throw by Justin Herbert, I mean, that first of all, before that even happened, you get a big play from him, and then you decide to hurry it up and then throw him the ball again while he's exhausted running his route like he just died. And you still want to go out there and let him play when you could have easily took your time, got up to the line of scrimmage, maybe even called a timeout if you wanted, and just ran the ball with Eckler. I don't know why they didn't put Eckler more in red zone situations. So happy for fans. Yeah, Josh Allen, Bills defense, Tyreek Hill, and Cooper Kupp, and the Packers. God dang, Uno, yeah, you killed it. That's why we should pull out through and saying it. Yeah, you guys, the Chargers should definitely be at 2-0 right now. And they look like the better team against the Chiefs, but unfortunately, things happened. And I hope Herbert's okay. I have him in fantasy as well, but I hope, in general, I hope Herbert's okay because he looked like he took a pretty bad rib shot, and it was a rib cartilage injury. So I hope he can play next week. I think they're trying to keep him fresh. Yeah. Yeah, but it was just kind of weird, some of the play calling at the goal line, especially when they got to the goal line first. They didn't even have Eckler and they had Sony Michel in. And I was looking at the same run. Like, if you put Eckler in, he would have gone into the end zone there. Is what it is. A Saints fans, Jameis, what the hell? Yeah, Jameis in the fourth quarter. Look like good old Jameis Winston. And it's 30 interception year. So good luck with that, you know. Um, so first of all, welcome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed week 2. A lot of crazy comebacks this week, and one almost comeback I would have loved and would have been so happy about, but it didn't happen. First off, we're gonna talk about the Chargers and Chiefs. What do you guys think about that game? I was so excited for that game, and it lived up to the hype. I loved what the Chargers were doing. They were running up and down the field a little bit against the Chiefs. Mahomes, they stopped him a couple times, made him forced him to get it 3 and outs. And Derwin James pile drive Travis Kelce, so that was awesome as well. And Justin Herbert looked like Justin Herbert, which I was so excited for. And in the first half, you could tell they didn't like absolutely blow out them in the first half, but they were looking like the better team in the first half. But they couldn't get as many drives as they wanted, touchdowns. And then the second half happened, and one crucial mistake, it was hurrying it up and throwing it in pick six from Justin Herbert, unfortunately. And that changed the whole thing of the game because then the Chiefs went up 2 scores, 10 points, and Chargers got a late touchdown, and yeah, that's that. One thing I want to say though is Justin Herbert is a tough guy. He was putting it all on the line. His rib was basically broken. I think it's broken. Well, it's a rib cartilage injury, so it's not broken. But the way Justin Herbert finished the game and the way he threw the football, like you could tell he was in a lot of pain. Even on the second down, he could have ran for 1 yard to get the first, but he didn't because he was hurting so bad. And then right next play, he throws like a 20-yard, 25-plus-yard dime. It was crazy to see. Justin Herbert, just immense toughness from him. Immense toughness. And Uh, and Patrick Mahomes, he looked like Patrick Mahomes. The Chargers, though, were able to stifle him a little bit. And Justin Herbert kind of exposed their young defense just a little bit. The Chargers' defense is young. They blew out the Cardinals in week 1. The Cardinals weren't ready. Cardinals, we'll get to that in a minute. I love Kyler Murray. You guys know that. But the Chiefs, they look good. They're 2-0 right now. Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes. And I think they're going to be fine. The only thing I'm worried about for them is was their offense if they lost this game against the Chargers. Because early on, it was looking like they were the Packers from week 1, where the receivers were dropping balls. The receivers weren't getting as open. He didn't have the deep threat he had with Tyreek Hill. Patrick Mahomes didn't. So it was really up to the receivers, and they didn't do anything like the Packers. Kyler Murray did pop off. That comeback was amazing, Yeah, the Bengals. Oh man, I was worried about them. A little worried about them coming into the season because I kind of in the back of my head was thinking that might be a fluke season. They got lucky going to the playoffs. And right now they can come back. Obviously, it's a long season. It's only been 2 games, but if you're going to restore your whole offensive line and they still can't block Burrow, then there's a problem. And there's a little bit of worry. Because this is supposed to be a Super Bowl team that came from the Super Bowl, almost won the Super Bowl. And the main issue was protecting just Joe Burrow. And right now, through the first 2 weeks, you can't do that, and that hurts you. Yeah, they came back late in the game for both games, but at the end of the day, how much can you let Joe Burrow get hit? Is he going to take another injury like his rookie season? That just can't happen, and I'm a little worried about the Bengals right now. And their defense as well. Their defense needs to play better too. I mean, they just can't allow anybody just run up the score on them and then force the offense to come back, and then they actually start playing. Yeah, hopefully not Uno. But it might take time with that new O-line too. It's not like they're automatically going to work for Joe Burrow. So I'd say by like week 6 or 7, and if Joe Burrow is still getting pressured, there's going to be a lot of worry for the Bengals. It could take that 6 or 7 weeks. On the good end, look at the bright side, they could just string together some wins and be Bengals we knew from the Super Bowl. The offensive line could work together well within these next few weeks. We have to talk about the Patriots beat the Steelers this week, and Mitchell Trubisky did not play his greatest game. I'll tell you that. The Steelers defense did keep it close for most of the game, though. So that was good to see. I thought it was Did this score wrong? 1 second. Patriots Steelers. Maybe not. Was I thinking 10-6? Okay. Yeah, the Steelers kept it close against the Patriots, thanks to the defense. Mac Jones did his thing. He got his receivers. He threw a better interception, but ended up working out for him because the Steelers can do anything on offense for the most part. They started to get something going. They got a few touchdowns, but the Patriots defense stifled Mitch Trubisky, and people are already gunning for Mitch Trubisky's head. And it's gonna get worrisome if they do lose a few more. Like them being the Bengals was a high point for them, and just losing the Patriots right here in a tough battle. It was a close game. I think Mitch should still start for a couple more weeks, and then if he's not playing good, then just put Kenny Pickett in. I don't know what you can do here, but if Mitch can play well, he has everything in his favor, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to be able to sit in the pocket. He needs to be able to find his receivers that can moss people, that can catch contested catches. All of them can, and sit there and find his open guys. That's what Mitch needs to do. The Patriots, after a tough Week 1 loss against the Dolphins, they come back, they stifle Mitch Trubisky and Steelers, and they win this game, putting them at 1-1. Big help for Mac Jones as well. So I think Patriots are gonna win some. I don't think they're gonna win the division. I think it's gonna be a battle between the Bills and the Dolphins right now. I'll get into more on the Dolphins in a second. I think that's gonna be one of our next games coming up. Yeah, in just a second. But Panthers Giants. Yeah, Giants going 2-0 to start the season. We haven't seen that in a while from the New York Giants, and they look like an inspired team. They look fun. You think Uno? I think Mac Jones is going to be good for them. I'm not sure what to make of him yet. It's just too early to tell right now. He's only a second year. We'll see at the end of the season. I can make a fair judgment. From what I've seen, I like him though. I think he's good enough to be the Patriots starter and franchise quarterback. So he has a lot of time ahead of him, and see what they do this season. Yeah. Panthers Baker Mayfield, they got off to a slow start again, which is kind of a concern because they're 0-2 now. They're in the NFC South. The Saints are 1-1. Bucks are 2-0. The Panthers keep losing, then it's going to be hard to come back in that division. And for the Giants, Daniel Jones is playing well, and this was his year to prove it. This was his year to show everyone that he can be the quarterback for the New York Giants. And Saquon's looking like old Saquon, which is nice. He didn't have a pop-up game like the Week 1 this week, but he did enough for his team, which I really liked. And that's, at the end of the day, they won this game in a close one. And Baker Mayfield, they need to figure stuff out. They need to stop these penalties. They need to stop the miscues and stuff like that. And I think they can be a decent team. They just got to fix their errors. And the crazy thing is the NFC East, which we were calling the NFC Least this year, the Eagles are 2-0. The Giants are 2-0. The Cowboys are 1-1, and Washington's 1-1. So they might not be the worst division in the league anymore this year, at least. Going on to the next game, we got the Jets and the Browns. This Jets-Browns game was so much fun to watch. It was like a sneaky good game. Eddie, how's it going? Yes, sir. Them Eagles and Jalen Hurts looking nice. Jalen Hurts is looking really, really good. That deep bomb to Quez Watkins, I believe. Yeah. And, dude, that dominant performance from the defense and the offense on both sides. I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see them score a little more, but the defense did the job, and they limited Kirk Cousins at offense, and Kirk Cousins looked like Kirk Cousins on prime time. Oh man, whew. 2 interceptions from Slay. Yeah, he's balling right now. I thought it was going to be a high scoring game, and I wanted it to be a high scoring game, but the Eagles defense came out and played well against this team. One thing I do want to note about that game, though, is Kirk Cousins had so many missed opportunities. There were so many times where Thielen and Jefferson, they were open, but Kirk Cousins didn't look their way. And he's going to go back on the film and look at that, and he's going to see that Kirk Cousins is, and he's going to be like, oh, man, what did I miss? Because there were times where Justin Jefferson was wide open, who could have gone for a touchdown, who could have gone for 20-plus yards, and he just didn't throw. He didn't even look their way, which was kind of frustrating if you're a Vikings fan. And that was big. But Jalen Hurts, Thielen didn't do anything until the end of the third, which was horrible. I don't know how you should let that happen. I mean, the Eagles defense played last night, and the Vikings were I don't know what happened to them, but they were out of sync. Kirk Cousins didn't know what he was doing, and the whole team just kind of didn't work. The defense didn't do anything. They didn't stop Jalen Hurts. Speaking about Jalen Hurts, that touchdown run where he muscles his way into the end zone, that was awesome. That was a strong run from Jalen Hurts. Super strong run. And now looking at it, the Eagles are 2-0 in the division, tied with the Giants somehow. So you guys are looking good. You guys might be you guys are going to be the favorites right now to win the NFC East, and it's possible. Dak's still out. I don't know if he's going to do anything even when he comes back. So Eagles could very well win this division. And I love the Eagles running back duo in Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. They can run. They're shifty. They're agile. They're just very, very good backs when they work together. And I love seeing that. And also the pickup of A.J. Brown. It's just a big factor, too, because Jalen Hurts has a guy he relies on, guy he throws to. And you still have Devonta Smith. Eddie, you should be hyped. I know you're hyped. Dude, they're looking good. Looking better than last year. So, a lot of hype for the Eagles right now. It was really funny, though, when Jalen Reagor dropped a pass. It was one-handed, so it's hard regardless. But he dropped it, and then and then everyone booed him. Oh, man, that was hilarious. Oh, man, that was funny. That was funny. They were cheering after he dropped it. Oh, man. That's crazy. What was I talking about? Jets Browns. Jets and Browns was sneaky good game. The Browns did their job. Jacoby Brissett did his job, and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they did their job and was running well on the Jets. The Jets actually were in it the whole game because they played good defense as well. They forced some 3-and-outs from the Browns. Jacoby Brissett did his thing, and then late in the game, he went up 2 scores in what should have been the game-winning touchdown from Nick Chubb. But I gotta tell you, the Jets were fighting this whole game. Every time the Browns scored, Joe Flacco would go down and score with them. So they kept it close every strike. Every strike Jacoby Brissett and Browns did, Joe Flacco did, and Joe Flacco played well. He played well this week. And I'm not saying he's gonna play well every week because he's a back quarterback now. He's not that old Joe Flacco anymore. And he showed why. There were some throws that he overthrew so bad that there's a reason why he's a backup quarterback now. Um, but he played well and found his man Garrett Wilson for 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. Just to come back and get that onside kick was super, super, super awesome for the Jets and their momentum. They played a hard fought football game and they beat the Browns. And Jacoby Brissett, he did his job. Everyone did their job. They just let it up on the onside kick, unfortunately. But Browns should be 2-0 right now, but unfortunately they're 1-1. And Garrett Wilson looks like a stud too. I really like what he's doing. The Jets have offensive weapons. Breece Hall got a touchdown. Breece Hall's looking nice. Michael Carter's looking nice. And then on defense, they got some ballers too with Quincy Williams. They got Sauce Gardner who's playing well. They just got a lot of guys on that defense that are young and playing well. Now we're gonna go to the Colts Jaguars game. The Jaguars basically dominated this game right in and out from the beginning. They pressured Matt Ryan like crazy. When they didn't pressure Matt Ryan was able to get some completions, but it was just an overall dominant performance from the Jaguars. And that's what it was. I loved the game plan from the Jaguars on offense. Quick, get the ball out quick. They did quick out routes, quick routes all over the field, quick slant routes, quick medium routes. Like everything was to get Trevor Lawrence the ball out of his hand quick. Um, Trevor played well. He had some great throws, including one that should have been a touchdown to Jamal Agnew deep in the end zone. Trevor's just got to clean up his mechanics, clean up some stuff. He had 2 or 3 passes that should have been picked off, and that's about it. Otherwise than that, Trevor Lawrence and company, Jaguars played a very good game. The only thing I would like is to see the Jaguars finish drives more often and get more third down conversions, because there was a lot of times where it was third down and they had to get off the field because they couldn't get the first down. And every time they did that, it kind of let Colts fans get hope that they could score. And late in that game, Jaguars got a touchdown in the third quarter, but after that, they kept trying to chew the clock, and then the Colts kept getting closer to the end zone. 2 times they were in the red zone near the 10-yard line, and they just couldn't get the touchdown, which was unfortunate. There was a lot of missed opportunities for Matt Ryan. He threw a horrible pick early in the first quarter, and he threw a horrible pick in the second quarter. One was a tip ball that Devin Lloyd caught. And there was a guy wide open at the 5-yard line for Matt Ryan, and he just didn't look that way. Could have been an easy touchdown there. So the Colts, they just gotta fix their miscues. Like, there are so many penalties, so many missed opportunities that they had that they could have at least made this a competitive game. But the fact is, too many drops, too many penalties is what cost them ultimately, and that's why they got shut out. Especially in the red zone. Like, they were 0 for 2 in the red zone. It's crazy. The Jaguars completely dominated this game. We have the Dolphins and the Ravens now. Now, this might have been the best game of the week. Up to you guys. Let me know what you guys thought of it. What's up, Tim? How's it going? Well, it might have been the best game of the season. The Dolphins and the Ravens. This one started off with a bang with Devin Duvernay getting a 103 kickoff return touchdown straight from the beginning. And the Ravens basically pretty much dominated in the first 3 quarters, I should say. They constantly pressured Tua in the first 3 quarters. Yeah, I'm doing good, Tim. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but we almost did. So, yeah, it is what it is. But Tua in the first half, he did not look great. He had some good passes in the first half, but the 2 interceptions from Tua really is why the Ravens were up so much. Kept Tua's interceptions kept giving him opportunities, and there were bad passes too. It's not like there were picks. One was a pick, one was a tip, but the other one was a force into double coverage. So that and that's why the Ravens were up that much. Which going into it, Tua needs to learn how not to force balls into double coverage, and that's one of the flaws of Tua. Tua can't force balls into double coverage, and he can't make idiotic throws. We're gonna see going after the season if he continues to do that. But in the fourth quarter, Tua was amazing. He made every throw that he needed to. He got the ball to Tyreek, 2 deep touchdowns. Got the ball to Waddle for 2 more touchdowns. It was a crazy fourth quarter comeback, and Tua played amazing in the fourth. And they came back. The defense stopped Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson in the fourth, they went for it on 4th and 1. They tried to run in, they stopped him. But I don't like that call because they were up 2 scores when they did went for it on 4th and 1, and they were at the 50-yard line. That's just horrible field position. I would just punt it and give them bad field position. I don't understand why they went for there. I get you're trying to get momentum back for your team, but you lost the momentum already. The Dolphins were coming back, and that was a big factor in that game. That 4th and 1 was huge. And then Tua found Jalen Waddle for a game-winning touchdown, and came back 21 points in the fourth quarter, and Dolphins won that game. Dolphins look like a scary team right now, especially if Tua does play well. If Tua doesn't hurt himself by being down that much again, then these Dolphins are gonna be scary. When they play the Bills, that's gonna be a fun one to watch. They play the Bills this Sunday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern. Did you watch the Panthers game, Tim? One of the game films I just watched today was Bucks and Saints. This was a very defensive game. Like both defenses really. Oh, you did, yeah. Uh, what did? So the thing is, honestly, I think they're just kind of they're slow starting right now. Like Baker and that offense, they need to be able to start games faster, not have as many miscues, and I think they can be a good team. It's just those slow starts are killing them. Because if they get down too early, then they're gonna have to come back. And there was a close game for the most part, so it was just tough. Yeah, the Bucks Saints game was very defensive. Saints defense and Buccaneers defense. Yeah, I really don't like Matt Rule. I never liked him even when they hired him. He just doesn't feel. He doesn't even look like a head coach. He looks like a coordinator that needs to stay in his lane. I don't think he's a good coach, and I think he's gonna get fired eventually. I just don't like him. Unfortunately, you're with us, Tim. We're both 0-2 now. Unfortunately, 2 close games though, Tim, for us and you guys, the Falcons and the Panthers. Both 0-2, but 2 games they could have won. Like we should have won against the Aints, and then we almost came back and probably should have won against the Rams here late. But talking about the Bucks and Saints, their both defenses played well. They were not allowing anything in a run game and not allowing anything in the passing game. It was a game of yards. That's literally what it was. And it was awesome to see for the first 3 quarters. And then Jameis Winston did his thing. He threw 3 picks in the fourth quarter. All very bad picks. One was an underthrow in the deep ball. One was a force, and the last one, pick 6, was a force. Just bad play from Jameis there. Just can't throw those and missed opportunities from them late in game too, which led Tom Brady to kind of run up the score. 20 it was 20-3, and then they got a late touchdown to Michael Thomas, and then they did stop the Bucks in the fourth quarter. It was 20-10, and got a deep 50+ yard bomb to Olave, who fumbled it. And if they did it, they probably would have scored a touchdown and probably went close. Would have been 2017. So, but you can't just come alive in the fourth quarter. That just doesn't work, and that's what the Saints need to fix. And I'm not as worried about the Bucks. He was without his 3 starting receivers, but yet the defense still played amazing for them. Devin White's an absolute beast. Had 2 or 3 sacks and had multiple tackles. Just a beast. That defense, Bucks defense is. They all played well. They all played outstanding, and oh man, they're always a scary team, and this year they're a scary team too. But there's a lot of teams that can pass rush now, and that might hurt Tom Brady, because when he gets pass rush, as you saw in this game, he's not able to find his receivers. And that's why the score was 3-3 throughout most of the game until the fourth quarter. Quick notes on that. Commanders Lions. Carson Wentz kind of couldn't get the offense working at all. It was very, very rough for them, especially. The Lions defense played very good against them, and in the second half, the Watch Commanders finally came alive. But the Lions kept scoring, and that's what they needed to do. Amon-Ra St. Brown went off 2 touchdowns. Had some good swift runs that set them up for touchdowns. The Lions are looking good, and they're in the NFC North. They're tied with the Vikings for second right now. So look out for this team. This team has a lot of momentum, has a lot of spirit in them. This could be a very under the radar team to look out for. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And the Commanders, they just need to fix what they can. There were so many penalties that they had to kill drives for Commanders. Carson Wentz just needs to fix his things. He missed throws. He threw a horrible interception. Just bad mechanics from Carson Wentz. And we all know what happened to 49ers and Seahawks. The 49ers dominated that game. Geno Smith couldn't do anything. Trey Lance, unfortunately, out for the season with a broken ankle. Got surgery, so he got successful surgery, so he should be good to go next year when he comes back. Just unfortunate, but not unfortunate for Jimmy G, who they kept, which is paying off. But it's also paying for Jimmy G, because in his contract there's a stipulation where every time he plays 25% or more of the snaps of a game, he gets $150K. And if he wins a game, he gets extra $100K per game. So he's going to play 25% or more snaps every game now, because he's the starting quarterback. So he's getting a $150K bonus every game. And if they win that game, he gets another $100K. So that's crazy. Crazy. Jimmy G is making the big bucks right now. Now we're going to talk about the Falcons and the Rams. Very, very early, the Falcons did not look like they wanted to play at all. The defense looked horrible. The offense couldn't get anything going. Missed cues, missed field goal early in the game on the first drive of the game. Really set the tone early. We went down 28-3. Just rough. Just rough. Very, very rough. And then some sort of life started happening. We got a touchdown, make it 28-10. We got a stop, made it 28-17. And then a miracle happened. We stopped the Rams again. And blocked punt, touchdown. Go for 2 points. Drake London got the 2-point conversion, 25-28. This thing's looking close. Rams get a late field goal, 31-25. And this thing's within reach. And then they get a 3rd down conversion from Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp fumbles the ball. Good play by Darren Hall to hit the ball, punch the ball out to force the Cooper Kupp fumble. And that's where things could have took a turn for the better for the Falcons. We literally could have broke the curse, I guess, if that's its thing, because that doesn't make any sense. But definitely we could have came back. We came back and had a chance to go up and lead the game for the first time in that game. And then Marcus Mariota threw it high to Braylon Edwards, and Jalen Ramsey jumped up and picked it off. There was single coverage on Drake London. Drake London was open in the end zone, unfortunately. But Mariota did get pressured heavy, and he gave his guy a chance, and that's all you really need to do. There's been a lot of talk about Kyle Pitts not getting enough attention, enough receptions, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if he's getting double teamed, why would you throw to him? If he's getting, sometimes when he's single coverage, you can't throw him the ball. It's a 50-50. He's going to win that 90% of the time, so you should. But Arthur Smith said it's not fantasy. We're here to win games, and I get that. Just want Kyle Pitts to get some more receptions. That would be nice. And some more touchdowns, obviously. But yeah, the Falcons almost came back against the Rams. Unfortunately, late interception in the end zone, and that killed it. Kyler Murray, Cardinals Raiders. Kyler Murray came back and won that game, down 16 points. They came back and kept scoring, kept keeping the Raiders offense off the field. The Raiders offense, it was crazy. It was 7:41, and the Raiders didn't have the ball since 7:15. So around 30 minutes of real time, which is like probably a whole quarter. The 30-40 minutes, the Raiders didn't have the chance to have a snap on offense, which was just crazy. Leading this way to a Cardinals comeback, Kyler Murray just did his thing. It looked like vintage Kyler Murray. I was worried about this team. I said it last podcast. I was very worried about this team if the defense can't get it together, if Kyler Murray can't do that. And that's what they did again. They weren't looking great. They were behind. They kept getting behind. They kept getting stagnant on offense. But new sign of life, and they went to overtime and won the game. Amazing play by Isaiah Simmons to hit Hunter Renfrow super hard to force the fumble and scoop and score. Crazy thing about that play, they slowed it down, and next gen stats or whatever, they looked at it, and it was 0.2 seconds where Isaiah Simmons dropped the ball in the end zone after he got a touchdown. It was 0.2 seconds away from being a touchback because he almost fumbled it before the ball really hit the plane. That's what's crazy. That's 0.2 seconds is so fast, and that's crazy. Dude, these guys just need to hold the ball over the plane. I don't know. That was way too close for comfort. But he did get the touchdown. The Cardinals came back and won. We'll see what the Cardinals do in the long run. There's some questions still. It wasn't a perfect game for the Cardinals. And again, for the Raiders, they're 0-2 now. They let the Cardinals come back. One thing I was worried about the Raiders was the defense, and the defense let up again, which was what I was worried about. And Derek Carr, he threw some bad passes again this week. I'm worried about the Raiders a little bit. They're 0-2 in the toughest division in football. The Chiefs are 2-0. Chiefs are 2-0. Chargers are 1-1, and the Broncos are 1-1. And they got some teams that they can win against, those three teams. So the Raiders being 0-2, it is a little bit worrisome, especially in that division. And then the Broncos, they beat the Texans, a very defensive game. The Broncos offense is still kind of out of sync. They need to get that figured out. It's very early in the season, though, so they got the dub. They got the dub against the Texans. Texans are 1-1 now. Broncos are 1-1. The Bengals, we talked about them, their O-line. If they can't protect Joe Burrow, then it's going to be a tough season for them on the long run. They're 0-2 now. Not looking good right now because the Ravens, they have a chance to come back because of the division. The Steelers are 1-1, the Ravens are 1-1, and then the Browns are 1-1. So not the end of the world right now. It's very early. And the Cowboys winning with Cooper Rush. What a statement win from them without Dak Prescott. They actually scored a touchdown without Dak Prescott. So take what you will with that. But when Dak comes back, we're going to see how he does. And then we got the last three late night games. Bears-Packers. Packers owns the Bears, unfortunately. Justin Fields, I think he's still the best rookie quarterback out of the class from last year. I think him and Trevor have the most upside. So we'll see in the long run at the end of the year. And I think Justin Fields is that guy. He did come out and say that fans don't know how much it hurts. Maybe it was taken a little bit out of context because I've seen the quote say, "Fans don't know that fans aren't here," but he never said that. He only said it hurts more in the locker room. He never said anything about the fans. It was taken way out of context than it needed to, and the Bears need some protection for him. And it's the thing with these teams: if you can't protect Trevor, if you can't protect Justin Fields, these teams aren't good with quarterbacks, and we're gonna see what they can do. And then Titans, Bills dominate. Obviously, we knew they were gonna fall out. Bills look like the Super Bowl favorites right now. They look like the best team in the NFL. Nothing more to say about that. Josh Allen just too good. Stephon Diggs is amazing. A little worrisome for the Titans, but not as much because their division looks like the worst division in football. So they can easily come back if they need to. Derrick Henry was stuffed again, which sucks. Uh, it just hurts a lot because Derrick Henry's on my fantasy team, and he was my number one pick. So I need him to keep churning those legs, get like a 5 touchdown game, please. I mean, I just need it, please. Thank you. Yeah, but the Titans, Ryan Tannehill didn't look good on offense, and late they put Malik Willis in, but it's not Malik Willis' time because he didn't look great either from some snaps he did. He mostly ran the ball with his snaps, but he did not look great. He needs development, and they need to put him on the bench regardless. Ryan Tannehill is going to be started for the rest of the year. They do not need to start Malik Willis. He's not ready. And then Vikings, Eagles, Jalen Hurts and company dominated. The Vikings, I don't know how their offense became stagnant. Kirk's primetime record is 1-9 now in primetime Monday night games, which is an insane stat in itself. I don't get why he just doesn't play well on Monday primetime. I don't know what it is. The offense, he missed Justin Jefferson and company a lot. And Jalen Hurts looked amazing. And that team is going to be a team to watch for, especially if they make the playoffs. That is week 2 of the NFL. Yeah. A fun one. Lots of crazy comebacks this week, especially with the Dolphins and the Jets. Let's almost come back from the Falcons. Just some crazy games this week, which was awesome to see. I hope you guys enjoyed week 2 of the NFL. It's been super fun getting football back. And we hope you guys are ready for Thursday Night Football. Steelers Browns Thursday Night Football coming up on Thursday. I have a feeling that's going to be an interesting game to watch just because both teams are going to be running the ball. Mitch Trubisky, I think, if he plays well, can beat the Browns, especially with Jacoby Brissett in the backfield. But Jacoby Brissett is doing his job, which is good from him. And that's what you need Jacoby Brissett to do. He needs to do his job. And that's what he's been doing. Putting them in position to win the game, both games. And they almost were 2-0. So yeah. If you guys want to talk about anything, just let me know. Let me know. Anything specific stick out to you in these games, let me know. It's a Q&A right now. So yeah. Otherwise, that's all things I have today. I just wanted to recap the games from week 2 for you guys. It was awesome week 2. Excited for week 3 as well. Fox played Seahawks at 4:25 p.m., so that's nice. So hopefully we can win that game. So I'm going to go ahead and end it now. Thank you, Tim, Eddie, Uno, Backseat from the Backseat, Antonio, Uno. Thank you all for stopping by the stream. We should be back on Thursday. Both of us should be back on Thursday. We'll let you know as that changes. But thank you, Uno, for coming by, and everybody, Tim, Eddie, everybody. Appreciate all of you for stopping by as always. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace. Good night. Uno.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PI Podcast and on Twitter at PIPodcasters. Until next time.